Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. Today I am giving my personal review of the Long Legs movie. This movie was released on July 12th, 2024, to actually pretty good reviews for a horror movie, in recent years at least. Let me just say, I am not a movie critic. I do not watch a ton of movies. That being said, I thought Nicolas Cage stopped acting a long time ago. Hold up. Damn, my bad, Nick. Anyways, let's get to the review. We're going to start with a spoiler free, super quick review, recommend or not, so let's just get to it. Horror movies seem to have three main genres: slashers, ghosts, and demons. If you're going to watch a horror movie blind like I did this one, then 9 out of 10 times it's going to be one of those three spooky movies. Honestly, the horror genre needs to update its bag of tricks with things that actually scare people nowadays, like never being able to buy a house, talking to people of the opposite gender, being drafted into the World War III, things like that. Anyways, this movie's another demon movie. Not your typical demon movie though. It's one of a few movies that actually kept me on the edge of my seat the entire way through. I'll be honest, most of the time I go to the movie theater and I watch scary movies, I end up asleep and I wake up and everybody's gone. The basic outline of the story goes like this. So you have your main protagonist, who's a detective for the FBI, right? She's investigating murders of entire families that all seem to be linked to one person, and this person's name is Longlegs. By the way, I still don't understand why his name is Longlegs, but if any of you know, please feel free to let me know in the comments. Basically, she goes down this whole rabbit hole of information, and as we get further into the movie, the whole story fleshes out naturally, and you start to understand what's going on. I'll be honest, I had no clue what the fuck was going on for probably the entire first half of the movie. Blame it on me being slow or the 3 or 4 twisted teas I drank before watching. Either way, I feel like most horror movies focus more on trying to be scary and not actually telling a story, which this movie was more of the story side, which I kind of appreciated. Don't get me wrong, it was scary. There were a few jump scares, but that wasn't the majority of the scares, you know what I mean? I feel like I was scared throughout the movie and not just in random sections because of jump scares, I was nervous watching it. The movie honestly had me dying to know more about what the heck was going on up until the very end of the movie. It didn't overstay its welcome either. It ran for 101 minutes, which I was satisfied, but not over satisfied, if you know what I mean. Honestly, this movie is worth a watch if you like scary movies. If you don't like scary movies, then I don't know why you're watching this video. Just kidding. Not really though. If I had to rate my experience watching the movie on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it an 8.5. I was pleasantly surprised with the movie, and I'm sure you will be too. Now, with that being said, honestly, I feel like there's only so much you can say trying to be spoiler free. So I'm going to move on to some review things that I wanted to talk about that have kind of spoilers in them, kind of not. But if you want to go in blind like I did, then just click off, go watch the movie. It's good, I promise. So Lee Harker is our protagonist. She's kind of weird, and you're going to notice this pretty early in the movie. A protagonist being weird in a horror movie is not groundbreaking. It's been done before. It beats being hot and dumb and doing all the wrong things throughout the entire movie, which I can appreciate. And she has a partner, his name is Agent Carter, and they are trying to figure out what's going on with all these murders that they're happening around these kids' birthdays and all this shit, and it's all connected. And then we find out later in the movie that Lee Harker is one of the girls that was supposed to be murdered by Longlegs. But then you find out Longlegs isn't even the real murderer. He just works for the murderer, which you find out is the devil. Now, hopefully, you clicked off this movie if you don't want spoilers, because I pretty much just said the entire plot of the movie in a sentence. But if you're watching this, I'm assuming you've already watched the movie, and you just want me to reaffirm your beliefs about how good this movie was. Anyways, back to her being weird. Maybe I'm dumb, but her being weird should have been a telltale sign that she was connected to Longlegs. So maybe I'm dumb for not noticing right away, but whatever. And when it comes to like unraveling the story narratively, it's pretty natural. Like it doesn't feel rushed, doesn't feel forced. It's like a slow build up and then bam, it starts to hit you like, but it doesn't feel like it's forcing it all at you because they ran out of money. It just feels like bam, they turned the corner and now they know exactly what they should be looking for and then they find it out faster. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. Now, talking about long legs for a minute, he's disturbing. He's not really scary just looking at him, but I think his lines are really good. Like really made him seem like crazy. Um, and I think Cage played him very well. Anytime he was on the screen, you expected some crazy shit to go down, even though like 90% of the time nothing ever happened, right? And you find out why because it's like he's not the one doing it and all this shit. Now, honestly, a lot of people's like least favorite parts of movies are like the ending, if you think about it, right? Because it's really hard to nail an ending. Looking at you, Game of Thrones. It's not even just movies and TV shows that are hard to end. It's hard to end anything in life, right? I think this movie, like my favorite part was the ending, and it had the most action. It had like it closed the book in my opinion. There are like still a couple questions that I might have, but they're not big enough to where I think you need another movie. It's just like one of those things where it's like, oh, well, I mean, it's the devil, so I mean, you can't really explain that, right? Either way, I thought this movie was really good, like a one and done kind of thing. I don't think there needs to be a second one. If there is, I'm gonna watch it. Um, I guess it can't be called Long Legs because that dude's fucking dead, but either way, if there's another one in the universe, then I'll go watch it. Let's talk about some of the stuff that most of you won't care about. Cinematically, the movie was shot very well. Lighting, angles, all of that stuff. I can't describe why I liked it, honestly, because I'm not a film student or anything, and honestly, this is my first movie review. I don't know a lot about how movies are made or shot or angles or what they're called or stuff like that, but just watching it felt good. Like, I didn't feel like I was just like watching low grade poorly made stuff. Like it felt like real. Like it felt like I was in it. Watching it, the film looks creepy and disturbing, but it's shot so well and it looks so good that it was also like beautiful, even in the disturbing parts in a weird way. Music wise and sound effect wise, they were spot on. There wasn't a place or time in the movie where I felt like a certain effect or like a musical choice was out of place. It all just kind of blended well. Um, Maybe except for when Nicolas Cage tried his hand at car karaoke. I wish I could find a clip for you, but the movie's so new it's not even on YouTube, so I can't even get that clip for you. I'm sorry. But he was like screaming, and honestly, everyone in the theater was holding their ears. So, assuming that you've already watched this film before because you're watching the spoiler part of the review, I have a question for you guys. Was this movie like low key funny to y'all? Like it seems like they were trying to get us to laugh repeatedly throughout this movie, and it actually worked. Like the entire theater was laughing at certain times throughout this movie, and I was genuinely impressed. I was like, damn, like this guy who made this movie could also make a comedy movie. Anyways, this is a late review. The movie's been out for almost a week at this point, and I'm sure you can get a much better in-depth analysis about this movie from channels that have been doing movie reviews for a long time. So I'll just leave you with this. I liked the movie. I didn't fall in love with it, but liking it says a lot because I don't really like anything that doesn't change the chemistry of my brain for a period of time. I'm looking at you, Woodford Reserve. Go watch the movie, dude. You won't be disappointed. If you're a horror fan, you'll like it. If you're a movie fan in general, you'll like it. But yeah, watch the movie. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. I don't know how you could sit there and listen to the ramblings of a madman for so long, but props to you. If you managed to find the video or my commentary entertaining, why not subscribe? It might motivate me to make a video again at some point in the future. No promises though, but I hope I'll catch you soon. Goodbye.